to trace.
The trade endemic levels, according to a global task force set up to tackle exploitation. Our correspondent Angus Crawford has been out with the Los Angeles police, who are part of the task force, to see how they are dealing with the problem.
Acting on a tip-off, they go in at dawn. A joint team from the LAPD and Homeland Security. They believe this man has been trying to send photographs of child abuse by email.
Absolutely.
The man leading the global fight back says the problem is out of control.
In some ways, you could call it an epidemic. We have seen, just in our own agency, an explosion in the number of investigations that we conduct. There's not a country that can hide from this crime, and in some ways, it's only getting worse.
There is now, though, increasing evidence that some paedophiles are moving their activities to the so-called dark net, where specialist software and encryption technology makes them anonymous and almost untraceable. Specialist officers investigating crimes against children here in LA believe it's a growing threat.
The more sophisticated users are switching to the darknet. We're going to see encryption. We're going to see passwords. We're going to see anonymization, and it's going to become more difficult to find these guys.
Analysing a mobile phone chip in a forensic lab. The threat posed by the hidden internet, though, demands police use increasingly sophisticated methods to trace those hiding in the darkest corners of the web. Angus Crawford, BBC News in Los Angeles.
So what is being done to tackle the problem here in the UK? We're joined by Jonathan Taylor, former child abuse investigator at the Metropolitan Police. Good morning to you.
Morning, sir.
Disturbing watch, that report. Can you explain to us in simple terms, though, first of all, what darknet is?
The darknet is this wonderful term that's now being used to describe the area of the internet that is used to create and use the anonymity that the internet actually affords. And not just the internet, because obviously a lot of the areas now, if you think about the online offenders, whether sex offenders or other types of criminals, they want to use areas of the internet where they cannot be traced through the likes of encryption or things like Tor, the onion route, which provide layer after layer after layer of anonymity so they cannot be traced.
So in policing terms, we've seen this in other areas of criminal activity, haven't you, where technology improves and you are better able to find people doing these things, and those criminals find another place to do it. I mean, that's happened in other kinds of crime, hasn't it? And now they're finding somewhere else where they can do the same thing.
That's right, Charlie. You're forever playing catch-up, because the criminals and the offenders, online offenders, will always find another area to be able to discuss or distribute or carry on their criminal activity whilst remaining anonymous and staying one step ahead of law enforcement.
Now, in that report, many people will have watched officers sitting and effectively watching in real time through these programs they have, and I know we have them here in the UK as well. This is, if you like, transactions, images passing, paedophile images. They can trace in real time. You've been the officer sitting watching that happening, haven't you?
I have, yes. These are on file sharing systems, and what we must remember here, I mean, I've spoken with Angus, and we know we've been talking about the dark net, but a lot of the file sharing systems, they're not in the dark net. This is the open net, or the white net, that anybody can use these facilities to be able to, if you like, swap and exchange files. The unfortunate bit is here, online child sex offenders who want to trade in images to look for new ones or distribute will use these file sharing systems and rely on the fact that not just the internet affords anonymity, but there's no law enforcement actually proactively looking for them.
You say this is a situation where you're always chasing the next technology. What is the next problem?
Well, the first problem, there are many next problems. The first problem we have to do in the UK is really actually recognise the seriousness of the situation. That report will talk about the epidemic level that the United States have been talking about. Well, we were talking about that 7 years ago. The amount of images that are out there, the amount of offenders that are out there that are using file sharing systems just to make sure that they can exchange and look at new images.
Can I just ask, one of the things that would work, presumably to a degree, is deterrent, as in you might get caught. Now, if someone today goes on the internet and trades an image, what are their chances of being caught, spotted, seen, detected and taken to court?
Very low. Because you require the use of that type of software. You've either got, the law enforcement have an option here. They can actually be very, very proactive, and as you saw with the police in the United States, actually going online in a proactive capacity to actually find these individuals. Well, in the UK, there aren't many officers doing that. Many trained, software's available, has been. The United States officers have been over here and they've trained some of our officers. We're not doing it because it's a problem that is not recognised, it's not prioritised at all. So therefore, the chances of catching these individuals is quite low because no one's actually doing the work to identify and catch them.
Jonathan Young, thank you very much for your time this morning. Thank you.